Hey, Shalom. First of all, I like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, who the world inwardly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostle of great millstone, always saw me this truth. I want to give it peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, to teach this truth from verse like to do so. It's going to be a quick video, the Lord willing, videos edifying. Lord willing, you brothers get something from this video. It's going to be a quick one, man. I'm just going to go through a couple different things. Showing and proving that we are Israelites, man, and you can't really relate yourself. You don't identify as nothing if you relate yourself to African American because, like we always say, right? Africa is a continent. America is one as well, right? So you have, you so-called blacks, and not just blacks, right? Israelites are, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. So it's 12 tribes within Israel, okay, from Judah all the way down to Issachar. Okay, and these curses that I'm going to get ready to read, it's only a specific people had taken part in these curses. Okay, you got to understand that, every other nation doesn't, it's not going to, in the time to come, it ain't going to benefit every nation because every nation didn't take part of these curses. And this proves that the Most High don't change because we still Deuteronomy was written in the time of Moses, so you got to understand, right? We're still, us being Israelites, I still was affected by these curses. Okay. And it's 2020. Okay. So, you got Jake's growing up now, still affected by these curses, but slowly but surely the curses are turning to our enemies. Why? Because the true biblical Israelites are waking up and they're teaching and they're preaching and they're doing the word and doing what we're supposed to do. Okay, now this is Deuteronomy 28:1. It says, "This shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." Okay, now that's the blessing if we follow this word, and that's why we follow this word to the best of our ability, and we do this word to the best of our ability. So therefore, we can be blessed. Okay, and with what? Salvation. Okay, but understand that all the when you go through the law, when you start reading the law that we practice now is going to be mandatory to keep in the kingdom for the heathen. So we're going to have to execute this law throughout the earth, man. Okay. Now let me go down. These are the blessings, right? I'm gonna read a couple of the blessings. Don't read the curses. It's Deuteronomy 28:2. It says, "And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out." Okay, give me 1 second. Let me turn on this air, man. It's 70. Okay, so okay, now number 7, it says, "The Lord Yahweh shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways." Okay, that's beautiful. And that's just talking about the enemies, which are heathens. Okay, because every nation is an enemy to Israel. Okay, it says, "The Lord Yahweh shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses and in all that thou settest thy hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee. The Lord Yahweh shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh thy power and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord Yahweh, and they shall be afraid of thee." Are the nations afraid of Israel? No, not at all. Okay? That's why they had us in captivity. Okay, and that's why when you go to Zechariah, Zechariah, if I'm not mistaken, it tells you that the Most High was sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, man. They did way too much, man. Okay, it's 11. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy ground, and in the land which the Lord Yahweh swore unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his work in his seasons, and to bless all the work of thine hand, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow." Okay, if you got a car loan right now, guess what? You're borrowing. If you got a house loan right now, guess what? You're borrowing. If you got a credit card right now and you're using it, guess what? You're borrowing. Okay? This is 13. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall make thee," and we're not the ones with the banks. Other nations are the ones with the banks. Actually, the top nation right now, which is Esau, has the banks. Okay? That's the scriptures is in your face, man. If you could just sit down and if you could sit down and just open your ears and open your mind and understand and just listen before you talk. Just listen to what we are saying. It will make 100% sense to you. Okay? It will make sense to you. But if you caught up in your ways and you stuck in your ways, right? And you want, you think you are more, you think you a fucking Buddhist, or you think you Islam or whatever, or Muslim, right? It's not gonna work with you. It's not gonna fit, and you're giving unto that. Okay, and that's your lot to be destroyed. Okay, thus saith the scriptures. It says, "And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord Yahweh thy power, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee, this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. But," this is where the curses start, "but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." I'm going to read a couple of the curses, man. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt be in thy basket, in thy store." That's why, some of us, some of our people are on food stamps. Okay, "Cursed shalt thou be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it." Let me keep going. Let me go down. I mean, you can read through all this, and it just tells you telling me you can't identify with the madness that that has been going on, man. Okay, this is 32. It says, "Thy sons," I got a couple of them highlighted, but I'm going to go through most of those. It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people." Okay? "And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand." Now, it says we should be given our daughters and our sons, right? Our sons and daughters should be given it to another people. That happened to us. That happened to us in slavery days, where we were being shipped. We landed in Virginia, but some of us were shipped to Texas. Some of us were shipped to Alabama. They split families up. Okay? It says the Lord Yahweh, this is 36. And like I said, you can read through all of the curses, but for time's sake, Jay got a short attention span, man, so I want to keep these videos sweet and to the straight, sweet to the point. It's 36. It says, "The Lord Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other powers, wood and stone." And that happened. Who's serving what? Not just Judah, but who's heavy in the wood and stone, which are idols, is who? Issachar. Okay, Ephraim. The northern tribes they're heavy into that. Remember, they're Israelites as well. Okay, it says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee." Okay, and what is a proverb and a byword? Let's look that up real quick. Let's get byword real quick. A person or thing, city, notorious, outstanding example, an embodiment of something. So basically, like something that you're not, like a different name for something. It says a word or an expression summarizing the thing's characteristics or a person's principles. Okay, so something that you're not, right? Now, byword, plural noun, bywords, byword. Well, let's go to I know where we could go. Oh, no, not that. Oh, my 36. Give me 1 second, bear with me. Let's go to interlinear. A proverb. Let's see what that's. So a proverb, parable, byword, proverb, similitude, parable, byword. Yeah, so something that you're not, apparently from in some original sense of. So some other than, basically. Let's go to byword. Byword. Let's go to byword. So byword. Sharp word, sharp, cutting word, taunt, guide. Okay. So taunt, when you taunt something, that's not guide, byword, taunt, right? So, what are some of the words that what's a byword? What's an example of a byword? Like black, that's a byword. Or, something other than Negro, that's a byword. Or Mexican, spick. Those are words that's not like that's used for our nationality, but it's not our nationality. If I'm making sense. Okay, it says, "Among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee, thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little, for locusts shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them. Thou shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, and thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity." And what is captivity? Captivity is slavery. Didn't our sons and our daughters go into captivity? They did. Okay? It says, all thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get, which is a heathen, that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. Thou shall come down very low. And who's the lowest people on the planet Earth? So-called blacks, natives, Native Americans, and Mexicans, man. Okay? Let me go down to 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. So we go to these grocery stores that we don't own. We go to these malls that we don't own. Okay, we spend money with the heathen. Okay, it says in nakedness. And in one of all things, then he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Now, who had a yoke of iron upon their neck? Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called natives, so-called Mexicans. We all had yokes of iron upon our neck. Okay, it says, until he have destroyed thee. For Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And you know what that's symbolic to? You know, if you look at, the so-called white man, if you look at, their coin, or you look at, anything that they do to represent themselves, what is their animal? Right? What is the animal that they use? When you think of the American flag, what animal do you think of? An eagle. Okay, it says, this is 50, it says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And then when you go into slavery times, they didn't regard the person of old, nor did they show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit. So if you ever wonder why we went into captivity and they were cruel as the way they were, well, this is why. It says, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And they shall besiege thee in all thy gates, and thy high fence walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh thy power given thee. This is, let me go to 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, right? So our neighbor, which is another Israelite, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. Okay, that's why niggas hate niggas. That's why Mexicans hate Jake. That's why Mexicans hate Negroes. Negroes hate Mexicans. Mexicans hate Mexicans. Negroes hate Negroes. Native Americans hate Negroes. So all of us don't get along. We don't get along at all. That's why you see the so-called black on black crime rate go up, or the so-called, Mexican on Mexican rate. You see the cartels in Mexico and things like that. They behead their own people. They kill it. So you got to understand, this is the curses, man. It says, and his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, I didn't grow up with a father in the household, and a lot of my friends didn't grow up with a father in the household. And if they did grow up with a father in the household, it wasn't their father. It was like a stepdad, is what they call it. You understand? This is one of the curses, man. Okay, and I can tell you from experience, that's a hell of a curse, especially for a young man. Okay, but that's things that we have to go through. Okay, that's things that we have to go through. Okay, it says 56. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which shall not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her husband. Which, if you look at that's happening. The wife is evil toward. Look at the so-called black community. Okay, they don't stay together. Okay, it says toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Okay, and I actually had that experience in my household. Okay, that I grew up in. Shit was crazy. It was wild, but that's a curse. Okay, it's 58. It says, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in the book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, the Lord Yahweh thy power. Now I'm gonna go down to one of the biggest curses that we know. Okay, now understand, during this time we were already out of Egypt. Okay, we were out of Egypt. Okay, this is 68. It says, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. Understand what Egypt means, bondage. Again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And we were sold for slave, because bondmen and bondwomen means slave men and slave women. Okay? It says, and no man shall buy you, which no man shall redeem us, no man shall save us. Okay, but we were sold on ships. Where? To Egypt. Okay, and what is this place Symbolic with, what is this place called? Spiritually, it's called what? Sodom and Egypt. Okay, and it's called Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon. So this place has many names to represent it because it represents many different sins, man. This place, but we were brought here into Egypt again with ships, man. Why? Because we didn't follow the law. That's why all these curses came upon us. Okay, matter of fact, let me get this just to end it off. I mean, this is another video for another time, but some keep telling me to get it. This is Revelations 11:8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also the Lord was crucified." Okay? Now, the city that this is talking about America. Okay? Like I said, it's another video for another time, but just to show you that there is a city, that is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. That's the city. Okay. So with that, man, Lord willing, videos edifying. Lord willing, brothers got something from this video. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakal Kadash. Lord willing, brothers got something. I want to tell you, brothers, keep pushing, stay up. Shalom.